right, it's 5 o'clock. We will call a meeting to order. We'll start the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Brock.
Here.
Mr. Dent.
Here.
Mr. Jefferson is absent. Mr. Sire.
Here.
Mr. Schoen.
Here.
Lori Turbo here.
All right, thank you. All right, this is our utility meeting. So we've got our MCO report.
Yep. So, you guys should all have a copy of that. We'll go through like the new line items, just to kind of get you guys up to speed on what's kind of going on currently, what we're working on, and at this point. New items, under the water, so we had a water main break on McKinley. It was during hydrant flushing, and we had to issue a boil water advisory precautionary. Repair was made, and the satisfactory advisory in the boil water was lifted in that area. Hydrant flushing took place May 4th through the 8th. It pretty much took majority of the week this go around. We did use almost 10 million gallons this month. A lot of that was obviously from flushing. We were around 650 to 700,000 some days. Next bullet point, the hydrants. We've still got the 4 that are out of service. I did give the fire department an updated list just so they had it on record too, so they were up to speed. But we have the one on Railroad Street, end of College, the one in front of Dessert by Juliet's, and then the other one is around 207 North Main by Tim Brown's old house. So yeah, I did call around to get a rough price on that, but to give you guys an idea of just like one location, like the one by Dessert by Juliet's, you're looking at right around like $36,500 for just that hydrant. To basically replace it, put everything back the way it was, the concrete and all. We could sub out the concrete and stuff and so on and so forth and do something like that.
That's a budget number from.
Right.
So that makes sense to get a couple quotes from a couple other ones.
Was that a crash?
No, so that one's like it's part of the original distribution system, so it's 1939. Sometimes, the older ones, they don't tend to de-water, right? Because the weed holes at the bottom plug, and you can tighten them down and open it, and it usually frees the weed holes and allows them to drain, but a lot of the older ones are not draining. We do go to each one in the fall and drain them.
Pump them down.
But like the main valve has maybe slow seepage to where it'll fill back up with water, so we'll keep an eye on it the best we can, but the ones that seem to sit in water are the ones that, like the main valve, we're having problems with, and they're just failing. And they are from 1939, so.
A lot of those you would have backfilled around the base with either 8s or river gravel or pea gravel. None of that was, those they weren't done that way, and it's the way they did it back in 1939. And the one over by Juliet's, if you look at that, and it's kind of interesting, that got moved closer to the buildings, because I think they were clipping it all off all the time.
Got run over.
And I think, I remember Tom Palmer telling me that, because that one does have a valve on it. But if you look at how far it is into the sidewalk, and then there's that old fountain still there, if you remember, there's an old fountain there too. So there's a lot of stuff in the ground. I know I think there's a clay duct for the probably Frontier now, is GTEs. But I think that's in the way and everything too. So I mean, that was a problem child, there's no doubt about it. So, but,
Or it has been.
yeah, and so I don't know, we're looking at other options, there's, you've always got the option of moving it somewhere else and just leaving that one and just calling it dead for now until you do something with the mains. But, I just don't know what, Corey's been trying to figure out which route to go and.
You're liable to run into fuel tanks too around that. So that's an old gas station underneath.
Yeah,
And I
Tanks are
mean,
still there.
that one is the most probably important one,
yeah.
as far as,
It used
to What's around run it?
over a lot when Heidel Hog Market was involved.
Yeah.
And open down there. A lot of trucks hit it.
I figured, because you could just see
Yeah.
that's, Bing was pretty methodical with what he did.
Yeah.
He was pretty,
Yeah.
which is a good thing, because you could figure out where things were in that, yeah.
Is that gonna have to be a water excavate for the most, after you get the concrete out with all the crap in the ground?
Yeah.
probably.
It's getting to the point anymore where you almost have to do it all, everywhere anymore. Everywhere we're at, they usually hydro excavate.
Yeah, I mean,
Just because there's so much stuff in the ground that you don't know what's there.
that's money well spent, honestly, yeah.
It's just,
Well, I would think we need to make that one a priority,
yeah.
since it's part of the downtown protection.
So yeah, that kind of gives you guys an idea of what the cost would be. Obviously, the other ones are not as extensive as that, but not too much cheaper. So,
We'll get, we'll talk to, there's 2 or 3 contractors we can.
AccuDate will do them.
Yeah,
They're a ways away, but
yeah,
they come up here for a lot of other
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah. We use them quite a bit. Other spots too, yeah. And there's a couple, Harvey Sutton, I think could do them. I mean, they've worked here once or twice. And obviously, D&M, we can reach out to D&M and LGS too. LGS has got, they're they've got all the equipment too. So,
They did pretty good work, I think.
yeah, they're doing a lot of it up in Westville right now, all the big 16-inch water main bores and all, they're working with Bowen on that, so it's. And they did, yeah, I remember they did, Cow Street 20 years ago, and they did a really good job on that, so.
What fund would that money come from for?
Water.
It's water.
Do you have that kind of money?
No. Unfortunately. Trying to turn it around, it's slow, very slow. The payments start to go down on the loan pretty soon. I can't remember when exactly off the top of my head, and that will help tremendously. But right now, we're paying out more than we're getting.
Corey, the new hydrant out at the water project, it's facing the wrong way, is it not?
the water projects?
The hydrant out there.
I don't know exactly.
It's facing the opposite of the way the road
It's
is.
facing north, correct?
Yeah.
That can be moved, or, turned, but I guess I didn't know
Well,
which direction it was.
No, that's something we'll take care of once they get it fired.
Yeah. I think they more.
Because they probably just put it in and then we'll make adjustments
Yeah.
before we do the walkthrough and start up on it. Yeah.
Because it doesn't have a stored, either, but actually the buy after the fact, you get a better stored with a better. than
The
getting it.
adapters, yeah.
Right, so, which I think we might have one at the garage anyways, but we're kind of using it for hydrant flushing right
Sure.
now. But we could use it for now and get a new one or something when funds are back up. Bullet moving along quite well. There was intentions of potentially starting the plan up in July, but obviously there were some issues electrically as far as VFD go for the wells, and it's just variable speed drive that sends the flow to the water plant. Now it's sounding like we're hoping August, but to give you guys an idea of where we're at, looks really good. Happy with a lot. I mean, it's nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I chime in a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Part of the reason I'm here is so as to just, so when the water plant's done, we're gonna go into the phase of the water main cleanup. So right now, real brief, historically, when we started here back in 93, 92, 92, it was 92, I guess. The iron levels in the water were about 0.3 parts. So milligrams per liter of iron. We really need to look at the manganese, and iron and manganese are both the two that really can cause discoloration and nasty water. That's why you see the blackish and the brownish here. Gradually over the years, I think Lawson Fisher's report, they did have some tables in it. It had gotten up to about 0.5 iron. We're up to about 0.7 now. Anything above 0.3 is beyond the secondary limits. That's for aesthetics. And that's what iron and manganese both they've set limits for aesthetics. That's where you start getting the red water, the brown water with manganese, and it causes other problems down the road. You can get biofilming, it chews up chlorine residual, and the issue of removing it was first discussed, believe it or not, I went back, I think it was 97 when we first thought about doing it. It's taken this long to move ahead on it. But once the filtration plant's done, you'll be putting out water basically at zero, which is going to be something to behold in this town. The problem we're going to run into is, and Corey can testify because he knows it, he's like the expert in flushing water services out in this town. We get water complaints, and then we'll actually go, if the meter's in the basement or the meter pit, they'll actually flush it out, and it comes out almost like chocolate milk. It's that bad. And it's just an accumulation over the years. We feed a product called polyphosphate, which helps soften it, keeps it sequesters it, or it ties it up so it doesn't turn red in your glass and that, but it's just a stopgap measure. It does help keep it soft so you can flush it out, it doesn't get really hard. At the end of all this, we're going to be feeding a chemical that's going to help clean the water mains. So if you're cleaning the water mains, that stuff's going to go somewhere, and it's going to go into the water. So there's going to be months, probably several months at least, that we're going to be doing a lot of flushing, and there's going to be a lot of people not happy with the water. But it's just something that we're going to have to do to get it cleaned up, and then hopefully we still have to feed a polyphosphate once you start feeding it because of the lead and copper and corrosion control, that type of thing. It's really hard not to. It's a different chemical. It's not the 319, I think it's the 350. Is that what they told you?
Yeah,
so
about 50%.
Yeah, and it'll be about half of that, but it will help with corrosion control and not having problems, with lead and copper and that type of thing. We'll still be feeding that, but it's going to take a while. I just want to make sure the board understands that this is coming, and we'll do our best.
It's not an overnight fix, we knew that.
Yes, and I know you guys have seen it, you've been around here a long time, and I'm always, and I figured we're live, and hopefully the public sees it and they understand, and they have a little bit of understanding of what's going to happen.
Do you expect that to do anything to our older water mains? besides cleaning?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the new water plant's gonna help with the main breaks, because
Okay.
we got drives on the wells, so we're not gonna have that big boom startup. Having the tower there is gonna help, I think that's gonna help a little bit. So I think it's, I mean, who knows? I mean,
Yeah,
I've been
okay.
fooled before, but I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
But I think the new filtration plant's gonna be, I think everybody should be pretty happy with it.
It'll take a while to get there.
With it, but you're gonna have a nice water system, so.
So as this stuff breaks down, if people are getting dirty water, will it help them at all? Just let it run for a little
Yes,
bit?
that's what it'll be,
Okay.
kind of like what it is, and,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But, hopefully we'll see better chlorine residuals out into the system. Our goal is not to have the flushers anymore at all.
It'd be beneficial to keep flushing then after,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think,
just stay on schedule for that? Or
I would
do it every month?
At least in the beginning. It's probably, and then there's probably gonna be certain hydrants that will probably flush, that'll be, make sense just to do it because of their location.
I just wonder if we need to tell the public.
That's what I was gonna ask too.
Yeah, it'd be good to put some kind of just heads up or an informational, maybe a mailer or something.
Are we still sending out the CCRs mail?
No, not mail.
Okay,
We could easily put that stuff on water bills.
oh yeah, that's right.
And emails and stuff like that. We have Reach Alert, there's many ways to get it out.
We can talk to Wessler about getting,
might
writing
have a
something up,
flyer.
and
Yeah.
Or a postcard.
they'll sound a lot fancier than
Yeah.
I will.
Fact sheet.
Yeah, I think people
I
will
think that's a good idea, yeah.
accept stuff if we're up front and saying this could happen. We won't say that it does, but,
And I think if we start out with exactly what's happened,
Sure.
what they're gonna get,
Yeah.
that's been a process, and as part of this whole process, it's gonna be a little bit painful, but it's gonna be worth it in the long run. I mean, that is-
To get to the
Yeah,
result,
absolutely.
yeah.
And it will help on flushing. I mean, I've been working up in Russell quite a bit for the past few years, but back in 1999, they went through the same thing. And their water is very similar to this, no filtration, just pumping out of the ground. And now we flush and it's clean right away, and you've got a chlorine residual right away, and it's none of this stuff that we see, especially on the dead ends. Good acres has always been a problem out
Yeah.
there, and with the biofilms and that type of thing, and we tried everything. We tried air scouring, we've tried doing all sorts of stuff between the mains, and they're just kind of, they're in rough shape anyway, and I think everybody knows that,
So it's safe to say wherever there's older mains, it's gonna take longer,
yes.
and where there's newer, within the last 20, 30 years, those are gonna be a
Yes.
little quicker.
And part of that is so the old PVC, the new PVC thick wall, they're not gonna build the stuff up on them. And the new ductile iron water mains actually have a cement lining. So you don't get the corrosion out of that, but the old cast iron water mains and the old ductile iron mains from from 1938 through 1970, a lot of that wasn't lined, so it was just bare pipe. And that just kind of, there's iron bacteria, and there's a lot of stuff that just grows in those things. And it's not harmful bacteria, it's just normal stuff you see in nature, but it's just one of those things, you can't get rid of it. So you start flushing and you start feeding this, and you keep a good chlorine residual in it, so.
you know what Merritt's got out there. Are they going to be affected?
Well, So we probably, Corey, we probably need to talk to them.
That's what I
Say,
guess.
yes, you're gonna have some,
Issues, yeah.
But that's all plastic, right?
well, just, but just, yeah, just what residuals, if we're flushing in that, what we break free. But that's, yeah, we'll let them know. Because, yeah, that could kind of mess them up a little bit, probably. And, so,
So, they did complete the SCADA system. Right now, they're giving us the demo to basically play around with, to get used to the software, to tell them, let them know what we like, what we don't like, what we want removed, what we don't like about it, and they can kind of change the programming prior to the plant taking off. We just got the login information, so it's very, very new, so, but we'll continue to look at it and, let them know what we like and don't like. The water tower foundation started this week, or actually last Monday, and, they basically have everything framed out, rebar to this point, piping and stuff through the framing, but they put 4 inches of stone in, compacted it, your geomat, 4 inches of stone, and then 4 inches of concrete for the base. And then now they got rebar and everything framed up, so they are working on the tower, which is great.
Who made the mistake that we had to go deeper?
I didn't know.
I don't know. I don't know who did the geotech. That's a question there's really a question to ask Westwood,
Okay.
because they're the ones that did the geotech on that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we have to do it right.
Yeah, no, that's.
Somebody screwed up and we.
I could call Adam up and because I don't know who did the geotech on that.
Okay.
Thought it was CTL maybe?
Yeah, it was
But I don't know who it was, what?
CTL.
And that was that Wessler's?
I don't know if they recommended
Or was
them.
that,
I think that's Coldwell.
that's Caldwell's.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But that's,
I just
Adam
haven't
knows
did it.
that more than,
Hydrant service and maintenance is being done, it's completed. We're just going around now and kind of making repairs and chains and some stripped oil plugs, stuff like that, gaskets.
I'm gonna jump in real quick too, Corey. So, well, Corey, I can pat you on the back better than you can pat yourself on the back. But anyway, I know the firemen remember the hydrants when we first started.
Yeah.
And they didn't work. If you remember right, someone pounded grease in them, and those old Woods hydrants wouldn't take grease. There was something as simple as that didn't allow, you could open them 2 turns. And so we learned over the years that there's certain servicing that we do to the fire hydrants. And Corey actually got a big data boy from IDEM just from the simple fact that when they come and do an inspection or sanitary survey, they want to see the records. So he's got a file cabinet about this long, just of hydrant maintenance records. So the goal has been, and I know we've worked with the fire department from day one on replacing the hydrants, and I think, what is there, 26 Woods ones left that eventually will need to be replaced. But I think there was like 60 some before, so some of them have been taken care of. But yeah, but the good thing is all the guys, they understand the Mueller hydrants. You've got a few Kennedys and the other ones, but each hydrant has its own specific maintenance that has to be done. If you got a Kennedy, you use grease, and you got to grease a certain way. With Mueller, you got it's an oil bath that the operating nut runs in, the stem runs in. So I just wanted to explain, because the hydrants are really, I know firemen really want them, they're important to them They're important to us too, so we can flush and do
Sure.
that type of thing, so.
Also working on valve exercising, so we go to all the valves in town, just to make sure they're isolated. They isolate, no problems. Some of them, the original ones tend to leak out the, packing gland, but just, working them back in an open position usually pushes that packing back down around the stem, and then it seizes up. But so some may leak, you might see one leak. We had one on Mentor today, and I have two part-time guys. One went to Couts, so they're doing a lot of that maintenance. But we went through that today, so there's not many, but usually it's in the original distribution areas that you'll have a leaking
Do
valve.
those every 2 years?
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, they get full of debris and stuff. They got little debris foam things, so after you get them cleaned, you can put that in there and it prevents anything from
see, we
going
did
in.
out when you need it right away.
Because usually you need it in the winter and then it's all frozen and it's a nightmare. We're working on that. All the water main breaks are done except for Susan. There's just gravel up to the surface, but that street is getting repaved. 2024, 2025 water audits are being done and they are completed. Big help from Lori on that. We just, for the 2025 one, we'll have to get with Alliance to get the validation and then just have to review it one more time and we're good there.
What was the unaccounted for water, do you know?
That's kind of what I'm looking for
For the
the
lines?
25. Yeah, 24 was okay, but 25 was way off, so, like, when I say 8 million gallons,
Yeah, it was not good.
it was not good at all, so. I don't know why, because 24 and 25 were done exactly the same way.
Hmm.
A lot of the same numbers even, from flushing and everything else, but it was a huge gap. And so, I'm gonna go over it one more time. I was doing that for days on end, and I could have done something wrong, so I'm gonna do it again and then send all my papers to Corey for him to do it again, so.
They're time consuming to
Yeah,
do. I mean,
it took a while
it's
to get all
another one of
those
those
numbers.
unfunded mandates that you're required to do, and so, anyway.
It's not fun either.
And then they change the software on it, and when you learn the first one, then they change it, and then it's like, what was wrong with the old one?
Yeah,
So thank you very much for helping with that, because that's a lot of time.
it's not a problem.
Next page, obviously, we're still doing the lead service line inventory. That's kind of ongoing as we're going in to do meters, we're getting pictures, so on and so forth, collecting data for that. As well as the sump pumps and any kind of cross connections, just to try to eliminate any safety hazards.
The lead service line thing is,
Nightmare.
it's exactly right, it's tough, I had a conversation with IDM today regarding basically where, because there's a lot of things that haven't, in our opinion, haven't been answered. I think we're gonna get together, Aaron Flowers, me and Corey, and we're just gonna call somebody at IDM and say, hey, what do we do about these things? One of the things, we're responsible to ensure that there's no wet or galvanized from the water main all the way into the person's house.
We are?
Yeah, verifying what's there.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not, but that's a tough thing.
If it's bad.
So, where a lot of this has come out are, so a lot of the old water mains, their water service lines, back in the 20s and 30s and that, they come out of the main, and they put what's called a gooseneck. It was a piece of lead pipe about this long, then they could tie it to galvanized hard piping, and then take it to either the shut-off or the meter pit or wherever. We have never seen, ever, that I'm aware of, in the town of Cowles, a lead gooseneck. One of the requirements is, so far, and we're trying to figure it out, is they want a certain percentage of the connections potholed and eyes put on it to see what's coming out of the main. That's gonna be really costly to do, and it's not gonna be easy to do. And we're trying to figure out, because most of the, and correct me if I'm wrong, most of the services going to pits are soft copper. They're the K copper, you know, you can bend and if you look at the standards and, you know, I was online looking at different towns and it was a rarity, and I don't think it ever happened that they would tie lead goosenecks into copper pipe. It was almost entirely the old war pipe, the old stuff we'd see occasionally here, or galvanized pipe. So we're trying to figure out if we're really gonna have to do this many, or if we only gotta do the ones that we know are galvanized coming into the pit. Because right now, they're just saying galvanized, they're gonna treat almost like lead,
And at first, it was only if it followed a
the
gooseneck.
gooseneck. And it's-
Then it was
it's-
mandatory replacement.
Right.
It would, you know, but if it didn't, they were saying it's galvanized, didn't need to be replaced. But it seems like there's no
And
consistency.
so we're gonna have to figure out, and you know, it's just an ever, because it comes from EPA, and then IDEM has to discern what to do, and then it comes to us, and this is, now this started in '93. I don't know if you guys remember, but we sent out questionnaires about sump pumps and then piping and all that way back, and it's still going on. And so it's really tough, trying to figure out where to go with this, and try not spending a lot of money foolishly.
Who pays for all of it, though? I mean, if we have to replace stuff,
Well, we're trying to figure it out, you know, I don't want to keep bringing Wesco up, but we're right in the middle of the big project, so we've got a lot of funding going on, so we're trying to figure out some of that stuff, because in Westville, there's a lot of goosenecks because it was put in the 20s. And there was a lot of, so, you know, history, you know, a lot of this is historic, you gotta understand the history of things. We're having a lot of main breaks in the old part of town, it just makes sense. It made sense just to replace all the water main while we could do it. But the portion from, to the property, I believe you got, and I think you might have to offer that, but I think they have to pay it, but I think there's funding gonna be available for it. I just don't have the answers just yet.
It's like they passed it without checking to see what the town ordinances were. You know, like, cause scouts say they go into a pit and then out is the resident. But they want documentation from the main basically into the house, but they.
So now we gotta go find it.
Yeah,
so we have to do the potholing though, right?
yeah.
Yes.
And then the big thing, I think, with AWWA was what about the liability? Because now you're on somebody else's
Exactly.
property. And you got, what if you damage something? So.
Do we have to do all of them?
Well, that's, I think we can do a percentage, and they can do like a algorithm or whatever and figure out how many we have to do, but that's something within, hopefully the next month, we're gonna have figured out. I don't, so the Alliance of Indiana was supposed to, they were the ones who were kind of overseeing all this up till last year, and I think the funding kind of dried up. So we're gonna make a call into the Alliance too and see what, but the guy that was doing this left, and I think the second guy that was doing it's left. So it's just, it's been tough.
Yeah.
Because the smaller towns, you know, some of the bigger towns got funding to do a lot of the stuff.
Sure.
And they gave most of the funding to the Alliance last year. And so, but anyway, and council's kind of right, you guys were kind of right in the middle, I think, on that, because at first you started small and then,
Yeah, and we ended up getting 15,000, but that was kind of to get
That
us
didn't last
started.
very long.
No, it was
No.
gone quick.
so we'll do some fact finding on that and probably be able to come back with some,
But then in 2027, it'll change too with schools and daycare facilities. You know, you're gonna have to have a sampling site plan for the,
it's a water utility's responsibility to do this.
and 20% of your daycares in town. So, and you have to mark stuff and make sure it's good and passed with IDEM.
It's a lot, you like have to have one person doing it.
It's, I mean,
It's a lot.
I mean, when you throw in, you know, the hat and the, you know, the total chloroform rules changed and a lot of the stuff, it's, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on. So, but we'll find out and, you know, Cory can come back and,
I understand that the state's looking at regulating all the water utilities. Have you heard that one?
I have not.
And it's involved with all the data centers, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't,
It was given to a study group, and as you know, legislation comes out of study groups.
Yeah.
And they tell you what you want to hear or what they want to hear.
have they finished the groundwater study that they were doing for the, I think it was the Kankakee River watershed?
I do not know. Yeah.
Because I think it was NERC,
Kersey, down there.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Jasper County's, yeah.
that will have, because they were doing a big study of all the groundwater and that, just because, at that time, it was because of irrigation. But now you throw the data centers on, that's gonna be another big,
Yeah, and they've kicked a lot of dust up down around Lebanon there, where they're
Yes.
building that gigantic Eli Lilly plant, so.
yeah. What about that?
And Lafayette was worried about their water,
Sure.
even though they're over the biggest aquifer, yeah.
Yeah, I think we all need to be,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, and you can't take anything for granted.
No, and we're pretty close to a perspective.
Yeah. And you can see how, you know, Council's probably it's a good example of how the water's changed.
Yeah,
You know, I know the water table, when we first started in here, I think it was around, because we go out, we check it at the well, and I think it was 8 foot.
yeah. I was gonna
That was
say
the
8 to 10
stat.
feet.
Well, you hardly ever see that anymore, do you? You're probably more like 13, 14, 15 feet, so that's how much the water table's dropped here.
All these irrigation wells have
Yeah,
added to that.
absolutely,
That's why the state's looking at it.
yeah.
Okay. It's good to know.
So just happy thoughts.
Yeah. I wonder if we only have to do a percentage, can we pick the ones that we do?
Yeah, it'd be nice, yeah. I don't know, we'll find out how they.
Okay.
Well, how they want to do it and how we need to do it and that.
Okay.
But, so like I said, I mean, I've only seen, I believe I only know like three galvanized lines that were tied to the main. Have you seen?
There was one on McKinley and Main there, but we replaced that.
So it was very, I know the house next to Family Express that they tore down, that was one. That went all the way over to Rose Street. So, but that was.
There's not many.
And I mean, that's what's frustrating is we gotta go through all this and we know it doesn't fall into that.
Cordell Hood's house was,
Yeah.
the one that's got tore down.
And that didn't have a gooseneck on it, did it? It was tied straight in.
Tied straight in, but it was replaced to copper, so it's ready to go if there is a house that goes on it. Where was I? LFA, so they provided a draft set of plans, to review, like a design, the bid. There was some stuff that I kind of brought up to Kevin. He was gonna make those changes. resubmit them. When I get them, we can sit down and review them and see show you what they came up with as far as Strong Road area there. Flow meters out at the water plant were tested by Amy Simpson. Well 3 and 4 were tested. So well 3 was 16.3% fast, so it's reading quicker. I was told in the water project, the new flow meter is gonna be the new fertilizers. It's more or less if we want to replace those meters to physically go out there and read them every day, to know from each well. But I was told that the main totalizer will provide all that information for us, so.
We won't know where it's coming from though, right?
You will know by calculation and pumping curve, but you won't have a metered accumulation.
Yeah.
Right.
We won't know which meters. If one of them's off, we won't know which one. Will they have a general?
Well, so well 3 is the one that's 16.3% quicker, and
Okay.
it's on a 6, and well 4 is in a 6, and then it combines into the 10 and goes to the new water plant. So you'll have an idea.
Yeah.
Right. And you could kind of make that correction or calculation in your math, I guess, to the way it is, to get a more dependable reading. So CCRs too, we're working on that. It's basically completed. There's been some changes with that. Just a few items I gotta add to it, and that's pretty much done for 2025. Moving on to the wastewater quick. So there's a damaged sewer on Rose Street. Frontier had hit a sewer. We had a blockage there, we jetted it. It lasted a little while, but something was going on there, so we had AccuDig come in and rejet it and televise it, and then we found the hit with the fiber. So I believe invoicing and stuff was sent to Frontier, Lori sent it, so. But that's completed, repaired, ready to go. We had a backup basically from the Gassel to North Kimball Street. That's kind of an ongoing thing, and it's like the flushable wipes that come from North Kimball. And it kind of, there's like a jog in it on the floor, and I feel like they accumulate and ball up and then plug further down the line on Indiana Street.
In the manhole,
Yeah.
the flow on.
Yeah. So we've had that on several occasions in that location.
Maybe that's another PSA to put out about wipes.
And
We have
she
many
has,
times.
Yeah, I know. This is a
Door to door.
she has nice flyers for that, yeah.
Yeah. I'll make a Facebook post.
So number 4, we've had issues with the sewer there. It's the one off of Strong Road. We had issues with it freezing. The tap was redone by Greenline Landscaping. So far, so good. We haven't had any issues. Hopefully that continues, but obviously LFA is looking into redesigning all that and new mains in that location. We discussed the driveway coming in from State Road 8 to the water plant in the past, about asphalting that, and I just wanted to see what you guys kind of were thinking on that. We don't have to have a decision on that, and they did say that that pricing would go up from the pricing that we did have, and the last pricing we had to pave from 8 to the drive was $29,040.
Is that in the alley you're speaking of?
Yeah, so it'd be our entry, our legal entrance from 8 to our drive going eastbound.
Oh,
Currently, it's open, but they asked if, while they were doing that, if the town wanted to do that, that would be the expense. But that price is gonna go up.
Reeve Riley said that?
Because that price was from a while back,
Yeah.
so something to think about. I mean, like I said, I don't need an answer now, but I just didn't know if you guys were even considering it. If you aren't, that's fine too, we'll just leave it gravel, so.
And that's like a private entrance then?
That's our legal entrance off of 80, yeah. It's not a run-through road to.
It's basically, it's an access easement, I think is probably
Yeah.
what they consider it.
There
But
be,
there's also utilities in it too.
Right.
There's the water main and then there's gas. And
there be any negatives to not? Or a bouncier ride?
Plowing it would be harder.
Yeah. But either way, I'm good with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you guys wanna do. And like I said, I don't really need an answer, but if you guys aren't even entertaining it, then I can let them know, or after the next one, let them know. But, so,
Well, it seems if we're gonna pave it, we should do it while Reeve Riley's here.
it would be cost savings to you,
Yeah.
right? Because they're already here. It's just equating for that extra asphalt, but they pretty much guaranteed that that price would be elevated by the time they got to that point, and part of that's because the tower's lagging. So that price will go up, no doubt. They've been very clear on that.
We want to wait probably until, most of the
Yeah,
construction
right.
stuff is
Yeah,
done, driving through there, the trucks and everything.
correct. So,
Do you anticipate any possible unforeseen things on the firing up the water plant that we haven't thought about?
I don't know how much money's left in contingency, but, so any contingency left, I think we were scheduling to go towards the 200,000 tower.
to rehab it,
To
yeah.
repaint and do all that
And
stuff.
take
so-
down the old one.
And take down the old one, yes. So the money's gonna be tight regardless.
Right.
And my thoughts are, and if we don't necessarily need to
Yeah.
do it, let's save the money.
I agree, and we'll use it in other ways, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Most of the rest of the stuff we've talked about, I think quite a bit. And I wanted to show you guys the progress on the GIS. If you have anything you want to add?
No, go ahead and show your show and tell.
So, just to give you guys an idea of where we're at and what we've been working on, we've taken a lot of the paper maps and built the layers of the new Esri. So, it's very busy, but we have water main, sewer main. The triangles here are hydrants. And I'll kind of zoom out, it's hard for me to see because there's a glare. So stars are shut off to buildings let you know if it's a curb box, the location that's at. What is this hydrant here? That's a valve. I'm sorry. So 15 turns to open and close that valve. The hydrant, when we replaced it in 2022, 17 3/4 turns to open it. Parts needed. Then the picture for it, for parts reasons. And basically, we can take all of our paper documents and put our maintenance on each hydrant. You can take layers on and off, but,
How close are you with, like the shut-offs on that? Up within a foot?
yeah. Yep.
So we're in the middle of winter, we need to shut some, it's really good, it's a really good tool.
So it basically creates like a log of each asset and history. So you have it here, you click on it, you know when a meter's been changed, you know when a hydrant's been changed, and you have your service record of it, so. But I did want to show you the progress. We basically have everything. I mean, there's some little tweaks and stuff we have to do yet, but we have everything. These guys here are the catch basins and stuff, we just don't have mains and stuff.
You got all the sanitary on there too? And we haven't put the laterals on from the as-built yet.
So, no, but you have to make the layers, and it's time consuming, so.
Yeah, we had doing that all yourself.
So, far cry from where we used to be, so.
Looks good.
Attaboy, Cory.
He's better than I am, I can't do it, I don't know.
You guys have any questions for me?
That should be helpful when people are trying to give estimates too.
Oh, yeah, so the plan was like, so on the manholes, you could have rim to inverts, because a lot of the engineers and stuff will want that information, so if you enter it in there, then it's there,
Yeah.
so.
And anybody can use it.
Yeah, and then you know when something's been modified. You could even use, for your community crossing, like the roads you did do and didn't do, you could start adding that on it. So you'd have a running log of what you did and when you did it. You can submit it way quicker for that too, so it's neat. It takes a lot of time, but it's neat. Yeah.
I like it.
So. You guys got anything for me?
I don't think so.
You answered my locate question, so. That's it.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Just have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, is there a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Wonder if those GO bonds could be used for hydrants, that kind of stuff. Might be a good